We want to extend the position down, goal down as long as possible, so we cannot deal with the physicality and the rhythm they have. So that's why it's a lot of calm with the ball. But after conceding the goal in the first action, we didn't defend well our back, so it's more difficult. Accept it. So the best team won. So congratulate Real Madrid and now focus in our Premier League.
Over the 2 legs, what particular area do you think you struggled the most with?
There's only 180 minutes. We have a good half an hour for it, 35 minutes in the first half, and the rest we struggle. But the game was in the 2-1. We conceded with a mistake in the last 2, coming here with a 1 down and a start with an injury from John, and after the action from the first goal was a little bit what happened all the season. It is more difficult, so because with the quality they have, with the 2 goals up front, and after me 3 goals up front, is of course they can do. It's easier, and we want to extend the 4 minutes a little bit longer for the result, and everything can happen. But after that was difficult.
And ties like this, you've always said they're won by special moments, by special players. Kylian Mbappe, just an exceptional talent.
See, not just him, have a lot of players. So it's a fantastic team. So I just congratulate them. They deserve to go through. We didn't deserve. We didn't make a good. It's the first year we didn't make a good Champions League season, and accept it and fight for next season to be here again.
Do Real Madrid look like Champions League winners again to you?
Well, of course is a contender, and definitely it is. But there are other good teams around. Will be interesting Champions League this season.
And how far away do you feel your team are to winning the Champions League again?
I don't know is the right question when you are out in that position. So in the Champions League you have to qualify, and after me all the process. So we were so lucky to be for many years in this competition. We were so satisfied to win it once, arrive at finals another one, and the process we have to accept that right now this season we are not close enough to be there, and we'll see what happens in the future.
What is the objective now, Pep, for the rest of the campaign?
Win Liverpool next game, and qualify for the Champions League next season.
Thanks, Pep.
Okay.
Lead from the first leg, you knew your team had to perform at the highest level to beat Manchester City. What did you like most about the performance?
I think that we were a compact team, all defensively. Our goal is to be good defensively. We have a lot of quality in front, and not always we are able to defend as a block. And in these 2 games we were able to do this. And after that, when we have this basement, after that the quality goes out.
It was the perfect start to the game as well. Were you able to relax at that point after Mbappe's early goal? So you had the 2-goal cushion?
No, I don't think so. Not me, for sure, because you never know in football. Every little detail you can change the dynamic of the game, and we are able to control well the game. We scored the second, the third, but we were always in the game, as I said, above all defensively.
Mbappe's first Champions League hat-trick for Real Madrid, but his 3rd in this competition. How special a player is he to add to the list of superstars you already have?
Yes, fantastic player. As I said, we have a lot of quality in front. Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo. When they are able to connect, Bellingham. When they are able to connect together, we are really dangerous. And that happened in these 2 games. He had a lot of opportunity. I think against a really good team, in my opinion, because City still is a good team. But in front, we are really dangerous.
And you talked about needing to defend well across the 2 legs. Are you surprised, though, that City didn't test you more tonight?
Yeah, not a little bit, because it takes a lot of time to defend as a block. We spend a lot of time, and I think that at the right moment, I think the players understood that to work collectively in defense.
Up next then in the round of 16, Atletico Madrid or Bayer Leverkusen, a derby, or last year's Bundesliga invincibles? What would you prefer?
I don't know. Really, I don't know. Now, what I prefer now to have a rest tomorrow.
Manchester City were dumped out of the Champions League after a display of world-class finishing from Real Madrid's Kylian Mbappé. Mbappé scored a brilliant hat-trick to power the holders to a 3-1 victory in the second leg of their playoff tie against City on Wednesday and an overall 6-3 aggregate success. Without the injured Erling Haaland, City laboured under the closed roof at the magnificently remodelled Bernabeu Stadium and barely troubled the Mbappé-inspired hosts. Nico Gonzalez did pull one back in added time after an Omar Marmoush free kick hit the bar, but the contest was long since over with the night belonging to Mbappé. The French World Cup winner was at his ruthless best, striking in the 4th minute and adding 2 more either side of the break, as City's lacklustre challenge in Europe's elite competition came to a tame end. It was their earliest exit since failing to progress from the group stage in 2012-13, and was another blow in what has been an underwhelming season. From Real's point of view, it was a strong warning to rest of Europe that, after their own sluggish start and some recent domestic wobbles, they remained strong contenders to win a record-extending 16th title. City's night began dreadfully as top scorer Haaland failed to even make the starting lineup. Despite manager Pep Guardiola's suggestions to the contrary, the Norwegian was clearly still bothered by the knee problem that forced him off in the closing stages of Saturday's defeat of Newcastle. With Haaland on the bench alongside Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, City entrusted Marmoush, fresh from his hat-trick against Newcastle, with the chief task of scoring the goals to turn the tie around. Yet the assignment instantly got tougher as Federico Valverde launched a long ball upfield and Mbappé capitalised on a Ruben Dias stumble to lob Ederson as the ball bounced kindly for him outside the area. To compound City's woes, John Stones was forced off injured moments later and had to be replaced by Nathan Ake. Real sensed an opportunity to put the tie beyond doubt and, after targeting makeshift right-back Abdulkadir Kusanov, created a number of chances.
Before we start, it's mid-afternoon in America, so if you could watch your language, it'd be nice.
Okay, yeah. Trying to learn me lesson. I mean, to the worst person for that, I think.
How did that game feel for you?
Really good. It was a fun game. I think when you always focus more on the organisation without the ball, we know that with the ball we're going to have the chances to win games, and I think that was the key for us tonight.
It's sensational again. How do you keep doing it at your age? I mean, all watching you up there, and it's not just the 30, 40-yard ball that you sprayed across the field. It's your energy, it's your work rate to defend and attack as well. How do you do it at your age?
Thank you. I think, I'm young, so I got a lot of energy, so that's the main thing. But playing in a good team gives you confidence. I think you guys know that. I think the manager giving me that freedom to play, how I see it really. And, I'm going to make mistakes, but I think the main thing is that when nights like this come along, that, I put in performances that help the team win the game. And that's
Can I just ask, sorry, what is your best position or your preferred position?
I'm not really sure, to be fair. I think it kind of depends on the way the team's set up. All good? You throw me off it. Did you just get that? No, it depends on the team formation, the way the team want to play. I think here, defending as a left midfielder, rolling inside is nice because you have obviously the freedom when Vinny goes wide as well. So it doesn't really matter to me. I try and give whatever I can in whatever position.
You've had a little thing with, let's say, with Manchester City over the last couple of years. You played them quite a lot. The thing that's really stood out to me, not just the quality of Real Madrid, we know that you've got that, but the physicality right across the pitch against Manchester City, and normally that's the strength of the Premier League teams when they play, maybe a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or Bayern Munich. I mean, how did you feel? Like, did you just look so superior, in the first leg and the second leg? Yeah,
I think that's a big part of the game now. That physical side. I think to play so many games for one and then play against Premier League teams in Europe, you have to be ready physically. You have to be robust. You have to be kind of, different kind of ways of winning games. You have to have them. I think technique will get you so far in these competitions, but you need to be able to run and compete. Can
I just ask you about this stadium? This stadium is magnificent. Brilliant. First time I've been here since obviously it's had the revamp. What's it like playing here week in, week out with the crowd, the energy?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it can be a bit of a
a hotbed of pressure. I think from the outside, that's the reputation it gets, that, don't not do well because they'll start. But I really don't see it like that, to be honest. I feel like we have enough talented players. We can perform to the levels that, like tonight. You try and block it out as much as you can, but there's moments when they really lift you. I think we didn't particularly need it tonight, but the games like last year when we've come from behind, you wouldn't believe the push they give you, especially when you're down in games. And yeah, it's really impressive. It's a pleasure to play, to be honest.
Jude, I have two questions, but first I wanted to say, I think what Micah was trying to say is that I would second that. I love what you always do for the team. You will put your ego on the side to do what's needed for the team, so I respect that a lot. Having said that, I wanted to talk about two players. Kylian, first, because I do think that now he does understand that position and be patient, and time is run at the right time, and when he does that, we all know that it's clinical. So I wanted to know what you think about that. And please, can you talk about Rodrigo? Because this guy, nobody talks about him. His work rate and his skills, what he does for the team. How is it to play with those two guys?
Firstly, Kylian, I think everyone knows what a special player he is. I think, if that start of the season was difficult for him, adjusting for a new team, incredible pressure, unimaginable for most players. And I think it was only a matter of time before he got started, and when the goals came, it was always going to be just a different level of player. The confidence he has, you give him the ball in any situation, he can make something of it. The speed, linking up with Vinny, it's really terrifying for most defenders to play against. So I imagine, and Rodrigo, so underrated. I think for me, he's probably the most talented and most gifted player in the squad. I think the things he can do with the football, when be messing around and he'll flick the ball up somehow, and you're like, how do you do that? I'm trying to do it, twisting up my ankles and everything like that. And it's a pleasure to play with both of them. You put them in positions where they can affect the games and they'll win it for you. I think Rodrigo, another thing to mention is he's the one who kind of sacrifices the most, really. I think it's clear that his favourite position is the left. I think it's important to note that he does a lot for the team as well, defensively on the right side, which isn't his favourite, but never complains, just gets on with it, and that's the way we have to continue.
That's nice to see. Really.
It is, for sure. Round of 16 is obviously next. You've got the draw coming up on Friday. It'll either be Atletico or Leverkusen. Just as neutrals, I guess, so to speak. A Madrid derby would feel good. Yeah, it'd be nice. Be a nice atmosphere. Obviously, we dropped points to them both times in the league, so it'd be nice to have that one back. The atmospheres will be incredible here and away from home. But obviously Leverkusen as well, in great form, playing amazing football last season, this season as well, some amazing players. So whoever we get, we've got to be ready. We've got to be bring it like we did today. Lineup looks fresh.
Oh, I was just about to say that. The lineup is looking crazy.
He's trying to hide
I see they go with a taper. Taper fade.
What about his?
No, mine's looking good. Mine's looking good.
Okay.
I just put in the hat today.
Bit dry.
Bit dry, yeah. Dry. Lot of spray in there as well.
No, there's no spray in there.
Spray.
What do you think about the... Jamie chastised me for the shorter look. How are you feeling it, Jude?
I like it. You've got a bit of a different head shape, but I think it suits you.
What's that mean?
I think...
Basically, got egghead is what he's trying to say.
I think it suits you. I think
it suits me.
Look sharp, mate. Yeah, really sharp.
Thank you. You know what? Before you go, I know... Excuse me, last one.
Excuse me.
Have we asked you?
1 year in Italy, just excuse me.
Excuse me. Have we ever asked you who your favourite of the show is? Come on. We're here. We're live.
Why are you crying?
I'm cold.
Okay.
I've told him his lineup looks nice. He's tearing up.
It's not cold.
Please, before we get into trouble, who's your favourite on the show?
Could never answer that. I could never. No, it's too disrespectful. Obviously, I watch Jamie a lot on the TV, on the other channels and stuff.
Who's that?
Big fan of the overlap. So really enjoy that.
He don't like
Obviously,
the rest is
knowledge and you, just amazing. So great lineup, and obviously Kate.
She was waiting.
And I was getting nervous.
Well, Jude, I think we've got to let you go.
I'm going to get.
Yes, we do. We do appreciate you coming through. Thank you.
Sensational, man.
Thank you.
Sensational.
Thank you.
Mate, well then.
Take care of yourself.
Is he our favourite guest?
He's unbelievable.
Yes.
Might just be
We're
our
still
favourite
waiting
guest.
for the
Thank you.
celebration.
I know, yeah.
That was good.
The maturity of that man.
Since you always ask everybody, who's your favourite? Is he our favourite so far on the show?
I like Lukaku.
That day?
Yeah, that day.
In Milan?
In Milan was really good. I love Jude because he's so open and honest, isn't he? I feel like he doesn't just give you basic answers as well. I think he's being real. He speaks from from the heart. I think he swore on the show as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was it last season? And I just love him. I love everything about him. I love the way he's got that energy and that confidence to say, I am the man of this team. What is he, 20, 21 years of age?
Does it make you emotional talking about
it's
this?
Just, honestly, wow. I'm just cold out here.
Jamie, production are crazy for me to tell you that you haven't quite mastered the man hug. Apparently it looks a bit awkward.
Go on.
I think we want to replay it. Do we? Do we have it? Let's have a look at this. Let's see what's going on.
At the beginning?
Look
Here
at
we
this.
go.
Look.
Champions League coverage here on CBS. It's fantastic to be here. One of the best stadiums in world football. Wasn't one of the best nights in football for Manchester City tonight. They ended up losing 3-1 on the night to Real Madrid, which made it 6-3 on aggregate. Manchester City now out of the competition, out of the Champions League before even the round of 16. Kind of would have felt unbelievable or impossible to believe as we were coming into this season. Is that right?
Yes, right from the start, yeah, maybe. But then when you saw how the season was going, you could see that every time if the level is a bit too high, they can't cope with it, whatever it is, whoever it is. As soon as there is a bit of rhythm, a bit of aggressivity into the game of the opponent, they can't cope with it. And look, I said it so many times, this Man City side has been magnificent for years. So if a team can get a pass in terms of not having a good season, it's Man City. So look, on the other side, you have to give a lot of credit to Real Madrid, because if you remember the game against Liverpool, it looked like they were not a team that were going to go really far and do well maybe. But then, once again with Madrid, if you doubt them, that's a big mistake.
Can I just ask you a question from a coach's point of view? Obviously, you can struggle with confidence, you can struggle with energy. We talked about the midfield, we've talked about the defence. But what is it tactically this team are not doing? Why is it being such a big drop-off from a coach's point of view?
Look, I mentioned it so many times, you know, the boss, Pep, is also dealing with stuff outside of the field that also not easy to deal with when you have to deal with what he's doing, you know, divorce and whatnot. Now going back on the field, you can't come here, and they must have planned for something, right? I mean, you go 1-0 down straight into the game on something that's pretty basic. The centre back has the ball, he's pushing the ball, he's putting his head up, you're still not dropping. And on top of everything, you don't read the flight of the ball, you're trying to head it. It was a bit too easy for Real Madrid and Man City and Mbappe. But if you go back into the tactical aspect of it, I know we've said it so many times, it is a cliche thing. But if the aggressivity, the tempo is not there, tactic won't do anything for you.
Yeah, just looks at the moment, they just sort of run out of ideas. It's almost like Pep's tried everything, hasn't he? Really, you know, you think of John Stones playing in midfield before that. We've seen lots of different things. Nico Gonzalez and Marmoush playing today. Haaland on the bench. It just, you know, everything Pep Guardiola has tried in his career at every different club has almost worked. He's the first guy who comes with Lionel Messi as a false nine. He's the guy who puts his full-backs into midfield. He's always trying something different ahead of the game, and he just hasn't got the answer right now. And that sometimes tells you, you know, sometimes we get fixated maybe with how great managers are. And no matter how great a manager, you need good players. And if you've got a team of players who can't run and can't cope physically with the opposition, it doesn't matter what your tactics are or, you know, how you're going to go about it or what your plan is. He's tried everything, hasn't he? It just won't work.
Yeah, I felt a little bit sorry for Kusanov today. Yeah. Obviously, he's had a difficult start to his Man City career. Obviously, he's a centre-half. He was at right back tonight up against Vinicius, and then Mbappe, then Rodrigo comes, and then Bellingham comes over that side. And it's very difficult to come into this game. You know, I look back to Kyle Walker and mentioned it off the air, you know, obviously he wasn't having the best of season, but I just think with his experience, allowing him to go to Milan at this part of the season, maybe you're looking at that and you've got a 20-year-old playing at right back in one of the biggest games of Man City season. So, I mean, you try to chop it up every single week. You know, we've looked at every single aspect of what Man City are doing. But they just look like they've run out of legs. Looks like they've run out of steam. It looks like they're
without wanting to be
ideas and confidence. You know, confidence is a massive thing in football, Kate. Massive thing. You're looking at the players out there. When they went 1 goal down, normally Man City, you're thinking they can get back into the game.